What's going on, you guys? Welcome back to another video. My name is Kyle. I'm a full-time futures trader and founder of the Power Trading Group. This video is an update about the Autopilot Trader. I do have an exciting update for you guys, something that I'm pretty happy to see, something that I wanted to share with you all, and that is that APT, the Autopilot Trader, has passed its first eval. So I set this up with a 50K eval trading 3 MNQ contracts. And for those of you that are unfamiliar with APT, this is trading the 2 hour trader framework strategy. My current settings are the 5 minute PT1 break even settings, which just means when it hits PT1, it moves its stop to break even. Now, there are a couple of different profit taking and trade management configurations that you can use with the Autopilot Trader, but it is all the same strategy. So the different configurations we have are just for, again, trade management and profit taking. Now, I actually set this up on MNQ specifically. So typically, the way we are doing the setups is the Autopilot Trader is taking signals from NQ and then executing with our signal processor into the micros. I set this up directly on MNQ. It is actually slightly different. It is a little bit different than NQ as far as the signals that actually get generated. If you watch the most recent APT update, you'll know that APT actually took a short somewhere in this area for NQ. MNQ did not trigger that same short and actually grabbed the long over here. So there are a little bit of discrepancies. Now, again, it's trading the exact same strategy. I'm not going to go into super in depth about why this is happening as far as the logic in the code, but we do have some very minor discrepancies within NQ and MNQ, even though the price points are for the most part mirrored. So there are some things under the hood that APT is looking at that result in some different trades. Now, again, same strategy, same strategy. So I just wanted to run this as just a little personal experiment. I like to kind of test things out, if you will. That's how APT was even born. I was just kind of experimenting with automation. Here we are, a year and a half later, actually passing eval account, actually putting money into real traders' pockets, which is amazing. And so this is part of, what I like to do with the experimentation. And so let me actually show you the broker side of things. So this is Tradeovate, and this is the actual eval account. This is a 50K prop firm. And I was actually surprised to see that it passed today because most of these 50K evals are a $3,000 profit target. This one, it must be like 2,500 because I got the email from them this afternoon saying that the account is under review. I had passed, and here's the stats on the account. It started trading like, I think our first day was 10, October 20th. So I just set this up pretty recently, fairly recently. Look how clean that equity curve is. I mean, that is beautiful right there. I love to see an equity curve like this. Again, this is trading 3 MNQ contracts. Now, I did actually have a mistake here when I first set this up. The very first trade was actually on NQ. So the first trade it ever executed was actually on NQ, which gave it, you can see right off the bat here, it gave it a pretty big boost. But once I realized that, I switched it over to MNQ. That was just a mistake on my part. There is absolutely no way that you can trade 3 minis on a 50K account. The account is going to get blown pretty fast. So 3 MNQ, and even this experiment is fairly high risk as far as the account is concerned. If you guys have looked at the risk calculator, which I recommend that you do, the risk calculator tells us that this scenario is actually, it's somewhat unlikely, right? Just keeping it 100% transparent because that's what the risk calculator says. So this is not a recommendation to go out and do this. I'm not recommending that you hook APT up to a 50K account. It is much better on a 150K account as far as the risk management is concerned. But like I said, this is just something that I wanted to experiment with, that I personally wanted to do. I wanted to check it out, wanted to see if it was possible. Not a recommendation to do this, right? And so here you can see the results: 2,800, 2,805 total profit after fees, 2,700, 77% hit rate. Amazing, amazing, amazing. We had 3% break even trades and then 20% losing trades right there. Again, this is from, I just set it from October 1st to today, which is November 7th. And we'll take a look at the actual back end of the prop firm. So I'm using funding ticks for this from from the quick research that I've done. I did not do super in-depth research, so I don't know for sure that they are allowing automated trading. So it's a little bit of risk that I took. I mean, again, very limited skin in the game with something like this. Like it was like a $45 account or something like that. And the whole goal here was just to see, can APT actually pass an eval account trading 3MNQ? We now have definitive proof that it can. APT has passed the challenge. You can see P&L 2,700 right through here, start date October 20th. Right. Again, equity curve, very, very nice. What else can we look at here? Average win, $100. Win ratio, 79%. Average loss, $60. Profit factor, 6.7%. That's huge. So minimum trading days, we're there. We passed that. Profit target, we're there. We passed that. Here's the calendar. So let's look at this. So there was that big day when I had it set up on NQ accidentally, like I said. But look, you still, even with 3 micros, you can still put up some very nice days. There's a $750 day on October 31st. We had a red day here. APT just plugging away with 3 micros. And I want to remind you guys that if you're, if you're not tuned into what APT is, this is totally hands free. I did not do anything, which is just to me it's incredible. It is amazing that we can pull money out of the market fully automated, don't have to touch anything, don't have to do anything. The automation just takes care of all of it. So long and short, right? You can see all of the analytics that they provide here. Just very, very happy to see this sort of result. Of course, I'm going to be plugging it in to the actual funded environment, and we'll see if it can push to a payout. Of course, I'll make a video if it does, or even if it gets blown, I'll make a video about that as well. But this is the little experiment that I was running. Really cool to see. Very, very awesome to see. We do have a handful, like I mentioned in the recent APT update video. We do have a handful of annual licenses still up for grabs. We have a hard cap at 250 individuals. So if this is something that you would be interested in, if you want to explore the Autopilot Trader and grab an annual license, now is the time to do so before we hit the cap. Let me know what you guys think of this. Would you set up APT in a 50K account, or is it just too much risk? I'm curious to hear what everyone thinks, but this is the update. If you guys have any questions, let me know in a comment down below. Otherwise, I will see you in the next video. Thanks for your time and take care.